I'd like to welcome everyone to the December 21st meeting of the Newmarket Town Council, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And everyone is present this evening. The next item that we have on the agenda is for public forum. Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak this evening? Seeing no members of the public. I will close the public forum at 7:01. The next item is for the acceptance of minutes, and we have one item, and that is from our December 7th regular meeting. And I would accept a motion to approve those minutes.
So move.
Second.
Are there any questions or changes? Seeing none, if you could call the roll, please.
Council Braybeck?
Aye.
Council Lamatina?
Aye.
Council
Aye.
White?
Aye.
Council Blackstone?
Aye.
Council Ward?
Aye.
Council Conley?
Aye.
Council Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
And the next item is the town manager's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first item on my report is that just want to give an update on the fiscal year 23 revenue expenses. With 5 months finished the fiscal year, we've expended 43% of the budget, which is on target with previous years. Revenues remain on target as well. Building permits are actually already $42,830 higher than they were last year over what we anticipated, so we're seeing a lot there as well. In May, as Council may remember, I met with representatives from Stratford Regional Planning Commission and the DOT to discuss adding a project in Newmarket to the state's 10-year plan. What the 10-year plan is it consists of New Hampshire funding priorities for improvements to the transportation system over the next 10 years. It gets updated every 2 years and is signed into state law through the legislature. The project would be actually to address the intersection of South Main Street and Exeter Street for safety improvements. This is very preliminary, so I just want to get this clear. I mean, this is just to throw it an idea so we can get the plan, get us in the hopper for some point, get state funding. But what it would be close the eastbound lane of South Main Street, 152, between South Street and 108 intersection. So it'd be one way heading west. All eastbound traffic on 152 would be rerouted down Jerry Ave. The intersection and traffic control improvements would be done to the intersection. So Jerry Ave and 108, Exeter Street, would needs for consideration for truck turning left onto Jerry Ave. Odds are would be signage for drivers for closure, consider any intersection improvements, probably a signalized intersection, and speed management improvements for those going west, because now it would be almost like a slingshot. Everyone's taking a right to go down 152 and you don't have that other car coming, so the natural thing would be to try to go fast. The construction for this proposed project is minor in nature for the 10-year program. I mean, 10-year programs are the widening of 93, the General Sullivan Bridge, those kind of things. Considering road widening and sidewalk reconstruction on Jerry Ave, in addition curbing, sidewalks, and bump outs on 152, and the new one-way segment. The major cost items would be a new traffic signal at 108 and Jerry Ave intersection. It is assumed that this project will be advanced as a local public agency project administered locally and following the procedures of the LPA development process with DOT oversight, which we've done a number of those. Typical cost sharing for those is 80-20 split, where DOT does 80% of the project and the municipality would cover 20. Additionally, proposed work on Jerry Ave is not eligible and will be need to pay for by the town. We had an VHB, an engineering firm, prepared preliminary cost estimates for budgeting purposes. Those have been estimated adjusted for inflation using 2.8%, and the total cost would be about $1.041 million, so $729,508 coming from the DOT, and $182 from the town, an additional $130 for Jerry Ave. And what we're going to do is, just if there's no objection, just getting us in the list. And again, and I think the Public Works Director could vouch for this, even though we say it's a 10-year program, usually it stays longer with any state program, but We're just trying to get this on the list because it's something we will need in the future. So we want to start working on that to get in there. Not in my written report. First, I'd like to wish the fire chief a happy birthday. I understand it's his birthday today. Second is, I know I got a couple of emails about 15-minute parking, and we are going to be trying a temporary 15-minute parking, see how it works for cleaning during snowstorms. Is it really going to be 15-minute parking, or are people going to be there too long? So we're going to try a pilot program, and if it doesn't work, we'll take it down. If we think it works, we'll come back to the council and ask for an ordinance to allow 15-minute parking. And finally, just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and a best New Year, and see everybody next year.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments for the town manager on his report or on the department reports? Councilor Blackstone.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Sean and his staff for that statewide award. That's pretty awesome. That we knew that was a pretty state-of-the-art facility, but it's nice to have it recognized by the state, right? And in terms of this parking on Central Street, do we have a timeline on when we're going to look
I believe
at that?
after the holidays, they're going to be, I think it's just trying to get everybody together in the next week may be difficult,
Okay.
so.
And then I had just a question in your last report at the last meeting,
Yep.
since you weren't here. You talked about the creating the Historical Society Commission, and you said that the planning board had to do something to do that, right? And it was unclear from your statement exactly what needed to be done. And you said that you were writing a letter to the planning board, and I was wondering if that letter has been written.
I will have to get back to you. I don't have my report in front of me, but I have not written a
Okay.
letter either, so I think I wanted to get sense of the council if it was something we wanted to do.
Okay. So is that something that we can do tonight?
Write the letter?
No.
Oh.
I guess he can
I
send
mean,
it.
I wasn't at the meeting, and I apologize,
Yeah.
but I don't have I guess I'd have to bring it back up to see if that's something the council would want me to go forward with or not.
I thought that was already agreed. I thought that your statement here was how to go forward. Okay. Is that something?
But I wouldn't do it with one councilor's. The whole council would have to agree.
Am I confused? Did we already agree, or did we
I
not?
don't believe we did the historic district.
I don't think that we made any.
Like a group
Okay.
decision.
Any-
Yeah.
Like, I
yeah,
think we
any
may have
decision.
said
Is that something we can discuss tonight?
I would suggest we wait, because I think I'd also want to get the planner in to attend the meeting, just so we can I don't have all the background or the information tonight.
Okay, because I asked Rick, I asked Bart, what this letter said, and he said he didn't know. He said it would take the lawyer to explain it.
Right. That's,
Okay.
yeah, I think we need to make sure everybody's here.
Okay, that was it for me.
Any other comments? I had a couple. First of all, right prior to the meeting, I had asked a couple questions about the traffic plan of the town manager. So, because I'm directionally challenged, so I appreciated his explanation for how that could potentially work, knowing that it's quite a ways in the future. And then a few comments on the police report. First, I wanted to say that the report that Chief Jordan presents to the council every month is just so thorough, and I love the, he'll add some, some data, and then support that with something that's happened in the community, and so it's really helpful, as well as the pictures. So it's just helpful to see that. I think, speaking of pictures, it is a miracle that the person on Bay Road walked out away from that accident. I think, is really eye-opening to see pictures like that in the report. So thank you for including it. I'm going to show my boys, make sure that they don't speed. And I also wanted to say that I appreciated the follow-up regarding the motor vehicle stops, because I had asked a question last month regarding that, and so I had a sense of the reasoning why the stops had increased. So it was just nice to again see the data around that. And two other things. First of all, the Stuffa Cruiser. Congratulations on that, and thank you. I don't know if congratulations is the right word, but thank you for your work. And the Grinch video was adorable, and just it was just had a nice touch to the whole season. So thank you for that. And then lastly, the speed signs are awesome. The one on Ash Swamp Road, or it's moved around, but it was on Ash Swamp Road, and if you go too fast, the blue lights flash, which makes you think you're gonna get pulled over, which is
Try to see how,
Which is-
try to see how high it gets. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
I like that it says thank you if you,
Right.
if you get a good speed, and you get a little happy face.
Did you personally test that out?
I did not. No, it was not me. It was
I should
someone.
vote yes. I
Yeah.
have seen the blue light.
No, I'm annoying on Ash Swamp Road for the most part, because I mean it's where I live too. I mean, which is not to say that I never speed, but I tend to go slower, and people behind me get annoyed quite a bit.
I'll second.
My kiddo will be delighted to do
Yeah.
that, actually.
And I wanted to second Councillor Blackstone's comment about the wastewater management award. It's again no surprise that that team deserves that award. So congratulations to them. And then the rec, the Sunrise Center. I was just so happy to see that Kim Tilton will be getting some more support. She does an amazing job at the Sunrise Center, and really serves that community, which sometimes can be forgotten about. The Sunrise Center, for anyone who doesn't know, serves a pretty large community of seniors. So seeing no other comments, we will move on. If I can find my place to committee reports. Are there any committee reports?
And super short, Budget Committee met on Monday and we reviewed the town budget. I don't think we need to go over that again since we have already. So, yeah, that's all.
Any other committee reports? Councillor Blackstone.
So the planning board met. We reviewed a project on Bennett Road. There is a, on 4 Bennett Way, sorry, they're gonna put in a extension of an apartment complex there. They were originally approved for 24 units, but now they're gonna put in 12. It's gonna be pretty high-end apartments. And they're adding solar, and they're gonna have, because the loophole we're trying to close is that if you buy a building downtown and you're gonna use it for the same use it's currently being used at, you can basically do anything you want without planning board review, because it's not a change of use. So if we make it in the planning board, then it doesn't matter if it's a change of use or not. We still have to approve anything that doesn't fit the structure and architecture of downtown. And then we have finalized the wording on the accessory dwelling unit, but there were a number of absences. We just barely made a quorum, and so the planning board considers this a major change to put in ADUs, and so they wanted the whole board to be there before they approved it. So that will be in the next meeting.
Great, is that it? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Any others? Before we move on, do you know the dates for the hearing for the budget? It's
don't.
gotta be coming up.
It's I don't.
January 9th.
Thank you, January 9th.
January
Ninth
9th,
with,
okay.
if it snows, it's gonna be moved to the 11th.
I think it's the last day you can do it.
Yeah, or, yeah, I believe it's the 11th is like our snow day, if something goes wrong.
And do we have a date for our deliberative session?
Yes, I believe.
What's the
It's usually the
definition of snow, like
first
more than
weekend in
Yeah,
February.
can I send it back out? 'Cause
Yeah.
I want to make sure I get. I sent it out a few months ago, and I want to just resend.
Okay.
Make sure I get everybody's. Yeah.
Great. So next we have some resolutions to go through. The first is resolution 2022-2023-19, and it's the downtown TIF for 2023. And I would accept a resolution or a motion to approve that resolution.
So, oh, go ahead.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you.
This is a resolution we have to pass annually to pay off the debt for the downtown TIF, the bond to do the downtown project. We're not allowed to pay it off early, even though we're sitting on the funds in the capital reserve fund. So every year we have to come in and withdraw the money from the funds to pay off the bond. I believe we,
This is the last one. Right?
yeah.
Any questions? What happens to the balance?
We put it back in fund balance, or it can go to something in the I think it has to either go to to some part of the project, or it goes back to the fund balance.
And for the record, it was about $1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. It's exciting to be voting on this for the last time. Seeing no other comments, if you could call the roll.
Counselor Brayback?
Aye.
Counselor Lamatina?
Aye.
Counselor White?
Aye.
Counselor Blackstone?
Aye.
Counselor Ward?
Aye.
Counselor Conley?
Aye.
Counselor Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
The next item is Resolution 2022-2023-22. It's appropriating an additional $2,125 from the Library Capital Reserve Fund for roof repairs at the Newmarket Public Library, and I would accept a motion to approve that resolution.
I'll
So-
make a motion.
I'll second.
Any comments?
Pretty.
I have a question on this. Okay. So they're falling back to a different contract because the first one didn't have the insurance. But this contract was done in February. I had a question. Is it still the same
It is.
valid?
Yep. Still valid. They asked and they said, yeah, we will still honor it.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you could call the roll.
Counselor Brayback? Aye. Counselor Lamatina?
Aye.
Counselor White?
Aye.
Counselor Blackstone?
Aye.
Counselor Ward?
Aye.
Counselor Conley?
Aye.
Counselor Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
And the next item is Resolution 2022-2023-23, appropriating $5,405 from the Library Capital Reserve Fund to improve building accessibility at the Newmarket Public Library. And I would accept a motion to approve that resolution.
So moved.
Okay. Second.
Before we get to the discussion, we do need to, I'm asking that the council amend. Oh wait, which one are we on?
Oh, no, yeah,
Library.
Oh, sorry,
library.
hit the wrong one.
Okay.
Was that
We could
seconded?
amend it.
Wait a minute. No, we're fine, okay.
Did you second it? Was it second?
It was seconded by Counselor Conley.
Thank you.
Was there any presentation or, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Are there any questions or comments? No, I think this will be a great improvement. So if you could call the roll.
Counselor Brayback?
Aye.
Counselor Lamatina?
Aye.
Counselor White?
Aye.
Counselor Blackstone?
Aye.
Counselor Ward?
Aye.
Counselor Conley?
Aye.
Counselor Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Okay, now we have Resolution 2022-2023-25, the fire station mezzanine renovation. And we need to,
Do the motion in a
Okay.
second first.
so I'll accept a motion to approve that resolution.
So move.
Second.
with that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. One of the things I'm happy to say is that that the new road improvements project came in under budget, and $105,296 will be returned to the ARPA funds that the town has received. We found out that this morning. With that addition, the current town will currently have $647,266 available to do projects through ARPA. We discussed the matter and recommended the town council amends the resolution before tonight to not withdraw any funds from the building improvement capital reserve funds and use ARPA money for the entire project. And ambulance fund money. We're now recommending the following amendment that where it says not to exceed $702,990, that will be now $714,266, with $614,266 coming from ARPA and $100,000 coming from the ambulance revolving fund, and striking out $58,990 coming from building improvement fund. That will allow us to keep the building capital reserve fund at $213,337 for other projects, including facility study, which is something we're still going over the funding for that. And with this withdrawal from ARPA, we'll have $33,000 remaining for other projects, which we are looking at an upgrade to internet security for the town, which things we can use for ARPA. In addition, we'll have $92,000 remaining in the ambulance fund. So it's a win-win-win situation. So if somebody would make so moved, I think is okay, since we already have the wording and
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, so I would accept a motion to
amend.
approve the amendment as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
And so are there any questions or comments on the amendment?
I like saving money.
Yeah. Right?
Excellent.
That's a comment.
It's a great use of the ARPA funds too. So seeing no other comments, if you could call the roll.
Council Brayback?
Aye.
Council Lamatina?
Aye.
Council White?
Aye.
Council Blackstone?
Aye.
Council Ward?
Aye.
Council Conley?
Aye.
Council Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
So with the amendment passed, we can now talk about the actual resolution. And we have Chief Molaski here. Did you want to, well, first of all, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I know this is where you want to,
It's so happy.
how you want to spend your birthday, I'm sure. And is there anything that you wanted to say regarding the
Just that
project?
this has kind of been like 19 years in the coming. We waited to do this because we didn't have full-time people, and we've had full-time people for several years, but it'll improve, they'll be able to take a shower after a call. They'll have access right from the base, so they won't be walking through the building. There'll be bunk facilities, and it should help with coverage because people can stay there and not be at their house waking up the whole house, because we're very busy now. That's one of the goals, to hope to hold off on having to add more people full-time also. But we put out several bids. It's really not a big project in the grand scheme of things. It's some walls and sheetrock and electrical and mechanical. It was tough to even get the people that built the building to put a bid in, but they had the history of the building, so it was a little easier for them because it's like a design build. We don't have an architect involved. We're trying to keep the costs down. So that's why there's just the one, but we sent it out to 8 firms. They all said thanks, but no thanks. Everybody has a ton of work right now with all the money that's out there for projects. There's a lot of new there's a lot of stuff being built that got approved back in March, and some of them are 2-year projects. So, but we're excited that you guys are all going to support this, and the good news is too that range and the money, we're hoping to be below. That's just a little contingency, but we're hoping to be below. But the subs, which the big ones, the HVAC and the electrical, they can't hold the price for 30 days. So the bid came in October. They're probably not going to start the work till March or April, realistically. But that's the reason for when you see that range, that's what that is.
A lot of this came to realization that we needed the quarters because during COVID, there was no place if somebody was needed a quarantine that they could, they'd have to go back to their house if they were at the beginning of it. So if another pandemic, we would have at least a place where we can quarantine individuals at a time, something like that.
Yeah.
We also have a place where we can decom people. That's why ARPA funds is really, this is a perfect example of what ARPA funds should be being used for, and that's to improve something that, the fire station. Like I said, this has been on our radar for as long as I've been here, if not longer, so it's finally getting done.
I mentioned at our last meeting that when I first started on the council and I came to the fire station and DPW and you gave me the tour, we talked about this project, and that was 9 years ago.
Yeah.
So, you said it was 19 years.
It's been,
That's
it'll be
how-
19 years this month that we moved in.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
So-
it's been a while.
yeah.
Councilor Blackstone.
I'm concerned that not hiring an architect, there's all these compliances, you know, there's the ADA and there's a million compliances, right? And I'd really hate to build this thing and then have somebody say like, oh, well, you know, you didn't enforce the Grandma Act or something.
And I can address that for you.
Okay.
So Sheridan built the original facility and we did a design build. They have all of that in-house. So
Okay.
they have their own structural people, their own architects, they have all of that in-house. And that's why we did the design build. So they have all that.
Okay.
All the i's and t's are dotted and
Okay,
crossed.
great.
Yeah, yeah, all that stuff is gonna be covered.
Yeah, because that would be a real shame.
So we
In
don't
our,
have to
in
go
our
out-
road code enforcement, we're looking at it
Yeah.
as well.
There'll
Okay.
be permits and inspections.
Right.
So, but if you have your own architect, that's a big expense on top of,
Yeah, I
like
appreciate
with the
that,
school,
but-
you know?
yeah.
There was a lot to the architect, so. This is all within one person, and they have all those people.
Okay. Thank you.
Can you just talk just a little bit about the design of the space? Because, so again, right before the meeting, I had asked the town manager. I sort of like have this in, I don't know, like maybe 1950s vision of like this room with a bunch of beds in it, and he explained that that's not at all what
No.
it would be like. So
No.
could you just talk a little bit about it?
So they'll have their own individual bunk rooms, and they can go from the bunk room right to their locker room. So the guys go their way from their bunk right into the locker room, and the girls go their way. There's no going down the hall like this to get to that.
It's more, it's
Perfect.
the notion of the 70s TV show, everybody sleeping in one big room is
Right.
not there.
Yeah.
It's more of a dorm than it is a,
It'll be one person in this little small room with a bed,
yeah.
and when they come out of their room, they go right to the locker room. Or they can go the other way into the general hallway and out to the bay for the call.
Great.
And then there'll be a couple offices, a workout room, a day room, some storage for medical records and so forth.
Great.
But, yeah, it'll be all on the up.
Perfect. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you could call the roll, please.
Counselor Brayback?
Aye.
Counselor Lamatina?
Aye.
Counselor White?
Aye.
Counselor Blackstone?
Aye.
Counselor Ward?
Aye.
Counselor Connolly?
Aye.
Counselor Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you, and that was the best birthday present I've
Yeah.
ever had.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have no nominations or appointments, and we have a few resolutions in the first reading. Getting there. The first is Resolution 2022-2023-16 Thickener Project Award Authorization for T-Buck Construction. Whereas the town of Newmarket is installing a sludge thickener to improve operations and lower costs at the wastewater treatment facility. Whereas the Newmarket Town Council has approved a $460,000 budget for construction and contingencies for the thickener project. Whereas the funds for the project will come from Sewer Capital Reserve and a 30% ARPA grant from New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services. Whereas T-Buck Construction submitted the lowest bid of $410,441. Now therefore be it resolved by the Newmarket Town Council that the Newmarket Town Council authorizes the town manager to award the thickener project to T-Buck Construction and to enter into the necessary agreements and contracts for the thickener project. First reading December 21st, 2022. And next we have resolution 2022-2023-26.
You probably want to read that by title
I
only.
think so.
The length.
Authorizing the issuance of refunding bond, and that is on the website for anyone interested. And the next one is resolution 2022-2023-27. Approval of collective bargaining agreement between the Town of Newmarket and New England Police Benevolent Association, Local 215. Whereas the town has come to a tentative agreement with the New England Police Benevolent Association, Local 215, which represents certain police employees, and whereas the agreement covers the period of July 1, 2023 through June 30th, 2026. Now therefore be it resolved by the Newmarket Town Council that the Town Council approves the tentative agreement effective July 1, 2023 and places the following article on the town warrant for the March 2023 town meeting. To see if the town will vote to approve the cost items included in the collective bargaining agreement reached between the Town of Newmarket and the New England Police Benevolent Association, Local 215, which represents the police employees, which calls for the following increases in salaries and benefits at the current staffing level. Year 2024, the estimated salary and salary-driven benefits increase would be $167,385. FY 2025, it would be $70,215. FY 2026, $73,725. And further to raise and appropriate the sum of $167,385 for fiscal year 2024. Such sum representing the additional costs attributable to the increase in salaries and benefits required by the new agreement over those that would be paid at current staffing levels. If passed, it is estimated that this article will amount to 17 cents of the tax rate. First reading December 21, 2022. And that's it. Any correspondence to the town council?
There was none.
Bless you. And any closing comments? I'm seeing none. So our next meeting is January 3rd. And with that, I wish everyone happy holidays and safe and healthy and happy New Year.
Should that be the 4th?
Yeah.
On January 4th.
Yes.
Oh.
Fourth.
Thank you. And I will consider us adjourned.